Hi guys, how you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Well, this here is the all-new Volvo XC40. Well, now it's not officially all new because this car has been around for the last year or so in the market, but Volvo has upgraded this car with an all-new BS6 compliant engine. It's a petrol only now. This car will not sell in diesel, and Volvo says that this is the way forward. Diesel cars will slowly but surely move out of the market, and only petrol will sell in India and the world, or they'll have a bigger advantage in terms of sales. That's what Volvo thinks. What do you think? You can let me know in the comments below. But in terms of thinking and debates, I think this is the best looking car in this segment. It's the best looking compact luxury SUV. It's definitely ahead of all its other German rivals. And if you don't agree with me, you can vote for your favorite car by clicking on this pop-out banner and let me know which one is the best looking car. But before you make up your mind, let me just show the car's exteriors to you, and I'll play some music and show you some visuals of this car on the outside. And after that, we'll start with this video review. Thanks for watching. Well, so here I'm inside the cabin of the XC40, and the biggest highlight, just like all the SUVs in the range, is of course this infotainment system. Now this infotainment system here is like an iPad. It's like an Apple iPad in terms of the way it looks, and also in terms of the way you use it. It's a very intuitive system, very easy to operate, and I think it is by far the best system on any car at this price point. It's ahead of all its other German rivals, and I really enjoyed using it. Now this screen, as well as the buttons over here, the buttons in the below the screen, are the same ones which are used on the much more expensive XC90. So Volvo isn't cutting any costs on this car, even though it's the base SUV in the range. They're not cutting any costs. And talking about cost, you also get a very good Harman Kardon music system, and the woofer is placed over here. The subwoofer is placed over here in the middle, not in the back, so this also enhances the sound quality inside the car. So if you call yourself an audiophile, if you are someone who buys this car just for the sheer enjoyment of music, then this is a system you should check out. It's a stereo you should check out, and this is of course a car that you should check out. What you should also check out is the big and massive sunroof. It goes all the way to the back, and the steering wheel adjusts both for reach as for rake, and the front seats, both of them, the passenger one and this one, adjust electrically for everything. So it is a very luxurious car in that sense. What you'll also like about the car is the seat comfort, because seats are excellent in terms of padding as well as cushioning. And talking about padding, there's solid attention detail that Volvo has given to this car, because the door lining comes with the felt on it. It is all lined up with felt, which makes it a very soft material. And if you put a water bottle in it or anything else, and of course if you're taking this car on a rumble strip, then those water bottles will not do khar 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 khar. So that's also good attention detail. Well, the felt lining on the doors isn't the only piece of attention detail that Volvo has given on this car. You also get a small tray below the driver's seat where you can keep your mobile phone, or you can keep an iPad, or of course you can keep maybe a couple of bars of Kit Kat chocolate. And this is a very thoughtful touch if you want to keep your phone away from kids in the car. So if you have a very expensive iPhone XS Max, something like that, you can stow it away and tell the kids we're not using the phone till we get to our destination. Or of course you can hide away some chocolates from them and give it to them once you reach your place, and tell them to behave properly inside the car. Great attention to detail, especially considering that no other manufacturer offers this at this price point. Now let's jump in the back seat and see how good that really is. I'm in the back seat of the XC40, and the big and boxy shape on the outside means that the back seat is a roomy and spacious place to be in. Now my height for reference is 5'10", in case you've forgotten, and I always adjust the front seat for my height and my driving position. And even for someone who's about 5'10", 5'11", there's plenty of place in the back. Even if you're about 6, you have plenty of headroom. 6'1" also should be okay. Neum also is more than sufficient, so it should not be an issue in the least. Now there is the AC vent here, which is protruding on the outside, so sometimes when you're moving around like this might just get in the middle of your knees and just hurt you, but it's not a big issue. Also in the floor panel, but because it is generally a wide car, you can accommodate 3 for those long journeys. You also get your own armrest over here, where you can keep a couple of beverages and sit like the boss. The only slight negative is that the backrest angle is slightly, forward. It could have been a little more relaxed, so that's something which could have been improved, and the other thigh support could have been slightly better. But I am just nitpicking at the moment. It's not a bad place to be at all, and I'm nitpicking because unless I don't do that, you might end up saying that Volvo has given me something great for New Year's, and that's why I'm praising this car so much. So anyways, it's a good place to be. I'll give the back seat of this car a strong score of 8 out of 10. Now let's see how big the boot is. While talking about the boot of the Volvo XC40, as you can see, this is a very square and boxy car on the outside, and that makes the cabin feel very spacious, especially the boot area. It's a deep boot, it's a very well shaped boot, and it's a boot which will cause no problem whatsoever because there's absolutely no loading sill. Now if you want to increase the volume of the boot, you can do that. You can remove this partial shelf and you can place it over here. It can be stored away. Volvo has thought of everything. And as I just showed you, if you of course move this little board here, there's place below it also where you can keep some stuff, and you can of course remove this board completely and make the boot feel even roomier than it already is. So that's something which really is very well thought out by Volvo. Overall, I'll give the boot of this car a strong score of 10 out of 10, especially considering that it comes with a hard tailgate, and that makes life even better for people who always open the boot and close it. So you might be saying, why am I giving it such a strong score in every department? Well, for that you'll have to go to the Volvo dealership and check this car out for yourself, in case you think that I'm being paid by Volvo, and I'm sure once you test it you'll agree with why it deserves such a strong score. 10 out of 10 for the boot. Well, so here I'm driving the XC40, and as I mentioned when we started this review, this is a new engine. It's a 2-liter petrol engine which makes about 190 bhp of power, and the good point about this engine is its super refinement. It's a silky smooth engine, and this engine is so quiet that you can actually hear a pin drop inside the cabin. Yes, the engine is so refined, so quiet that you can actually hear a pin drop. And the good point about this car is its comfort. Yes, the ride comfort on this car is truly exemplary. It's by far the best car in the segment in terms of ride comfort. All the suspension soaks up all those bumps and potholes and badly patched roads and those rumble strips without any fuss whatsoever. So yes, this car does err on the side of comfort, and if you want to have a sporty drive or engaging drive, then you'll have to look elsewhere, because this isn't a boring car to drive. Don't get me wrong, it's not a boring car to drive, but it's not a car which you can call a keen driver's car, a car which offers you great engagement. So in that department, if you are in the market for a car which gives you total driving thrills, then maybe a BMW is the car to go for, and this one definitely errs more on the side of comfort. But yes, other rivals will not give you this kind of comfort in this segment. What also enhances the comfort is the cabin isolation. This cabin is very well isolated from the noise on the outside, so the wind noise is not present, there's no tire roar, and of course, because it's a very silky smooth petrol engine, there's absolutely no noise from the engine. Even when you're revving it hard, there's minimal noise which enters the cabin. Now, apart from being a silky smooth engine, this engine also impresses in its responsiveness. It's very responsive from even lower end in its RPM band, and it keeps responding all the way up to its red line. So that is something that you'll truly appreciate. And even when you're revving it hard, it doesn't become boomy or noisy inside the cabin. So that is something that most buyers will like. What you'll also like is the excellent visibility all across, and you get very big and chunky rearview mirrors. You get high set seats. The view from this glass over here is also very good. So visibility is not the problem in the least. Now this car, remember, comes with a safety feature called City Safety, which means that this car uses a lot of radars in the front, and if you are driving on a road which has good markings on it, then if you switch on that system, this car will keep in its own lane, and in case you decide to move out of lane and stuff like that, this car will get its steering into action automatically and get you back in the right lane. So that's a very good feature. But I guess for most Indian buyers, it's a feature they'll keep turned off, because we're used to jumping around lanes and moving around and overtaking traffic. So that's something which most buyers will miss and not really appreciate, but it's a good feature to have. So in my book, not only is the Volvo XC40 the best looking car in its segment, but it is by far the best car in its segment. And why is that? Well, it comes with a very sophisticated and very classy cabin. It looks posh on the outside, and it's also very good to drive with that new petrol BS6 compliant engine. That's not all, but that's not the only reason to buy this car. The biggest reason, of course, is the fact that it undercuts its rivals in terms of pricing, but offers you better features and better comfort and sophistication as well. So overall, in short, all I'll say is that this is the best car in its segment, and you should definitely check it out at a Volvo dealership near you. I'll give it a strong score of 92 out of 100. It's bye for now. Thanks for watching.